It's September, which means it's time for my favorite part of the year, the start of our early Oscar predictions. I know what you're thinking. It is way too early to start Oscar predictions. That's the fun part, though. We're so early that we're going to get like 90% of these wrong. That's what I like doing. I love getting it wrong, but I also love, every single month we're going to be a step closer to getting some of those Oscar predictions correct. And you know why I'm starting in September? Because all those fall festivals are coming to an end, and there's still some coming up, like New York. I think London is still going on, but most of them ended, like Toronto, Venice, and some other ones have ended, but most of them come to an end. So we have more, clear things to look out of all these fall movies coming out soon. But we still got to learn more about these movies. Still got to learn more about the trailers and everything. But let's get it started with the first category, which is going to be the biggest one. Best Picture. First, we're going to start with In the Race. 13, I got Joker 2. I had this one a lot higher. I mean, I had it in like the top 6, top 5. But when those first reactions came out from the festivals, man, they were not great. I mean, some people say that, the Rotten Tomatoes score is kind of like the first one. But I remember when the first one came out from the festivals, the Rotten Tomatoes score was actually pretty high, like 80%, 70%. Then it got released to more critics, not like the festival people. Then it actually dropped to like 50s, 60s. But it started pretty low at these festivals, which is actually pretty bad. So I removed it from the top 10, put it at 13. Maybe it could still get in when it officially releases. I'll probably still like it, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a splash now. I had it at like 8 nominations. Now I only have like 4 or 5. But yeah, I got it with 13 now. 12, I got Blitz. I think this one will be a pretty big player. I think I will have it in the higher ranks, later on, like December and stuff. But we have no trailer, no official, like real details. We have some set photos, some pictures, but not a lot to really run on. That's why it's at 12 right now. In 11, I got Gladiator 2. I think this one could be a pretty interesting player, but it's hard to really think of what it could do here because, Ridley Scott's kind of like he is a hit and miss kind of guy. And, the last Duel, when that came out, I thought that should have been nominated for so many Oscars, but it really ended up missing, I think, on all fronts. I don't even know if it got one nomination. Gladiator 2, though, I think it looks very strong from the trailers, especially, production wise, costume wise, score and sound, I think will be amazing. I think we'll get to the acting nominations later, but I don't think it's going to get into many acting nominations. Picture, though, I think that really depends on the quality as a whole. Is it going to be, a very beloved movie? Because it's already, following up the first one, which won a lot of Oscars when that first came out. Who knows? Depends on the reception. I think we are getting the first trailer in a couple weeks. We should be. It's been a long time. It's 2 months away, so we should be. Maybe by the time it releases, the second trailer is already out. Who knows? But those are all the ones in the race at 10. In my predictions, I have a complete. Now at number 10 in my predictions, I have A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biopic with Timothy Chalamet. I'm not really fond of the title. I think it's kind of dumb. Maybe it could have been named something else, but I guess it has its reasons. I guess it's like a song kind of meaning. I really do enjoy this trailer. I think the trailer is very well cut, and it's excellent. Timothy Chalamet, I listened to Timothy Chalamet in the trailer, then I put on the same song from Bob Dylan on Spotify, and I think they sound really similar, so I think he's putting in some great effort here. And I really do think that this could be, a big player, but sometimes I always think that December movies, especially some coming at the end of December, which this is doing, I feel like it's hard for them to get in there and make a bigger splash. But that also depends if you're screening it to critics like earlier, like a couple weeks earlier, because the Iron Claw didn't rack up really any nominations, and that came out December too. So who knows? But I have it at 10. At 9, I have The Wild Robot. I know, pretty surprising. It's like a gamble I put this here, but this came out of the festival like something I've never seen before. It had the craziest first reactions and those are critics at the festivals who are kind of very hard on movies and are going for cinema, true cinema. But The Wild Robot has really gotten some great reactions. It's from the director, I think, of Toy Story 4, which I'm very fond of. I always thought from the first trailer that this movie looked very special. I think it's an adaptation of a kid's book, but it looks very special. It looks like we're diving into humanity, how we should act to the environment as a whole. Lupita Nyong'o stars in this one, Pedro Pascal. The animation looks really great, like kind of like a paintbrush color, kind of coloring right there with animation. I heard the score is excellent. I've heard the emotion is excellent here. So I'm really just expecting a great time. It might not get in Best Picture, but right now yeah, I'm just having it there because at this point in Oscar nominations last year we already knew like five of the ones that were definitely getting in, and this year I only know maybe like three or two of them that are definitely getting in. So I don't know. But at number eight, I have Saturday Night, which also got some great reviews. You know, the crowds were loving this one. Heard it's very funny. It now has two trailers out, and both those trailers look very great. I actually just picked up a book from my local library of, you know, that story of Saturday Night Live from all the quotes of the people that were in it the first couple years. Excited to read that. I really do want to learn about that before I go into this movie. Has a great young cast of up and coming stars. I'm hearing some great things, so I put this one in the best picture. Seven, I got Amelia Perez. I'm not the most fond of this trailer like some other people. It's gotten good reactions, I would say. I just am not sold on this movie like a lot of other people are. If it does get a lot of nominations, that's cool. I just don't think it's going to get a lot of wins. Maybe some for acting, but I don't think it's going to get any of like the big ones. It's like a very audacious movie. Like they're going for a lot here. Like this is a musical, crime kind of family kind of movie. It's like a lot of things mixed into one action movie at some parts. It's crazy what they're going for. I think it's pretty long too, coming to Netflix in November, but I'm really interested in checking it out, checking out how the production design is, the score, the songs in this one. It could be kind of cool. Six, I had Nickel Boys. I read a little bit of this book from my local library. I didn't finish it because I really didn't want to spoil it, but it does have a very interesting premise, and this is actually being shot in the first person POV. If you've seen the trailer, it's out now. I think it's shot in the 4:3 aspect ratio too, which is an aspect ratio that I really do love. First person POV looks to be really experimental. I haven't seen that in many movies. I don't think I've seen that in any movies, maybe like one or two in my whole lifetime. But that could be really cool. I mean, it might not work for the whole movie, but we'll have to see. I've heard this is a very emotional movie. Some of the favorites out of fall film festivals, expecting this to rack up some nominations. Now, top five are some that I think are gonna get upwards to double digit nominations. Five, I got Conclave. I had this one a little bit higher earlier, but I think I've gone. I think my high on this one has kind of just dropped just a little bit, so I dropped it right in the middle. Conclave. It's kind of pulling like a holdovers for me, dropped right in the middle. This one has a very interesting premise about like the Pope dies and Ray Fiennes' character has to find a new Pope. A lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with this one. Looks like a beautiful movie. Edward Berger actually is directing this one. He directed All Quiet on the Western Front, which made a big impact on the Oscars in 2022. He's a very great director. I'm excited to see this movie, even though the first trailer didn't really do a lot for me. I think that's because I'm not really into this kind of Pope conflict and popes all around. I don't really care about the Pope and all that political stuff, religious stuff. Not really a fan of that. I do love the actors in this one. You got John Lithgow, Ray Fiennes, as I said, Stanley Tucci, even some more people. So yeah, could be a big one. Four, I got Dune Part 2. What else do we got to say? It's my favorite movie of the year so far, even though I haven't seen a lot of movies that have come out in, you know, this fall, all the film festival movies. I really do wish I could put this one at number one. I think it deserves to win all the awards. It's just not going to happen. The first one got like 7 or 6 wins for all like craft stuff, which I think that second one will knock out some wins for crafts this year. But this is just a monumental movie. You know, it's one of those science fiction movies that you only see like once every 10-15 years in your life, and I've never seen a movie like this before. I think Denis Villeneuve just sacrificed it all, and it really paid out big because it made like 700 million worldwide. Such a spectacle. At 3, I got Sing Sing. I've dropped this one just a little bit because I had it higher, but A24, we'll get to in a second, but A24 just acquired The Brutalist a couple of days before I'm filming this. They acquired that, and that means that they have 2 movies that they had to be promoting, and 3 if you count Queer, but I don't think Queer is going to be as big. So Sing Sing and The Brutalist are their big ones that they're going to be promoting and campaigning for. But I think The Brutalist is going to be taking their spotlight, which because it has the biggest reviews, biggest buzz out of the festivals. But I still think they're going to be campaigning both of them. It's just I think The Brutalist will take over the spotlight that Sing Sing once was. And I think A24 messed up big with Sing Sing. They never released it wide. They never released it into more than like 300 or 400 theaters. I had to go very far to my local art house theater, which is a very nice theater, to go see this, but they just never tried to release it. Cause so a lot of people just didn't see it and just came and went, which is sad because it is an excellent movie. My second favorite of the year so far. I was really upset with that, but hopefully it comes out in digital soon so everyone can see it. But I hope A24 doesn't mess up the Brutalist campaign, and hopefully they're releasing wide. So Sing Sing, excellent picture, still number 3. 2 is Anora, which could be a big threat to the Brutalist, but it is also a very tough subject about a sex worker and all that has a lot of sex. But hey, that didn't stop Poor Things. I had the Poor Things in my nominations for last year, and I had it to win a lot. Everyone was telling me it's too weird, it's too experimental, they're not gonna love it, too much sex in it. Hey, it won so many awards. It won like 4 or 5. Emma Stone won costume, set design, all that stuff. So yeah, if sex isn't your movie, I don't think it stops the movie. If it's a great movie, it will win. Anora is seemingly just an excellent movie. Sean Baker is well known for stuff like the Florida Project, what is the other one? The Red Rocket, which I just watched both those for the first time. I think they are both great movies. I still gotta watch his other one, Tangerine, I think it's called. He makes some excellent movies. I'm hearing that Nora is his best one yet. Mikey Madison brings a spectacular performance, but I still have the Brutalist at 1 because it is just being hailed as the next masterpiece, as the next Godfather. And one of the funnier quotes that I heard was, "The Brutalist is everything I wanted Megalopolis to be." I really did laugh at that because a lot of people really were entering this year saying Megalopolis, best picture, Megalopolis. It's not. Megalopolis is going to come and go like that. Lionsgate loses more money on a movie, but The Brutalist is another 3.5-hour epic. If you haven't heard about this, this is Adrian Brody, Guy Pearce, Felicity Jones, Brady Corbett, I think is directing this one. I do not know him as a filmmaker, but this is about like an architect coming to America from I don't know where from, I forgot, but I don't want to get it wrong. But an architect comes to America to like kind of rebuild his life, makes a lot of things, and there's no trailer yet. A24, as I said, just acquired this one, so hopefully a trailer comes soon. I think they want to start pushing this one out. A lot of people don't know when this is coming out, but I would assume this year. They don't want to pull something like they did them last year, because last year Sing Sing premiered at fall film festivals, and they didn't release it last year, which I think could have been an interesting thing. If they released Sing Sing last year, maybe that could have gotten some more awards, but I think it's fallen out so far because they just kept it for so long. So hopefully The Brutalist comes out this year. Well, all signs are pointing to yes, but man, it's just being hailed as a masterpiece. The next Godfather, as I said, 3.5 hours is kind of crazy because we know last year the 3.5-hour movie Killers of the Flower Moon got like 11 nominations but didn't win anything. So could this be the same situation? I don't think so, because this is a different take, a very original movie. I think this is an original movie. I don't think it's adapted from anything, and it's getting some really stellar reviews, better reviews than Killers of the Flower Moon. So I do have it on 1 so far. So those are my first Best Picture nominations so far. For Best Director in the race, at number 7, I have Jacques Audiard. I think that's how you say the name, from Emilia Perez. As I said, Emilia Perez could be sneaking back up into the top 5 when I do see it. I just don't have, a lot of anticipation or expectations for this one yet. That's why it's a little bit lower. Number 6, we got Greg Quidar for Sing Sing. I don't think that this is like a direction heavy kind of movie. I don't think that kind of style's leaping off screen. I feel like the movie mostly works in its screenplay and performances. The direction, though, I think is great. I think direction really helps the movie move along, flow, the look of the movie. But I think that Greg Quidar, will have more chances in the coming years with more movies. But for my top 5, number 5, I have Ramel Moss for Nickel Boys. It's just, I think that this one just could get in there for me because it is, pulling that more unique style, as I said, with the first person POV, the kind of emotional story, just the way they're telling it. I think it could be a very unique movie, so that's why I have it at 5. 4, I got Edward Berger for Conclave. I'm pretty sure he got in for All Quiet on the Western Front, so I would just say he's going to get in because of that, because he already got in before. But I think Conclave is being hailed as a great movie. I haven't seen bad reactions for it, maybe some mixed, but mostly all great. I haven't heard like many people say it's a masterpiece, like something like Brutalist, but I would say I'm pretty confident that he will get nomination. Same goes for Sean Baker for Anora. Pretty confident that he'll get a nomination here. He's taken kind of a big risk for this one because I heard it's kind of told in three parts. Like the first act, kind of like sex work and stuff like that. Second act is the character of Anora, Mike Madison's character. meets the Russian character, and it's like a love story kind of thing. Like they get married and all that. And the third act is like batshit bananas, kind of crazy. So it's like kind of placed in three different genres in a sense. So it could be kind of cool to see him get in for that. Two, Denis Villeneuve. If he doesn't get in again, I don't know what to say. Because if you don't know that story, he didn't get in for Dune Part 1. And that was an especially slow year. And somehow he didn't get in, even with it being such a slow year. Like, I could really just say he could have won that year. But crazy to me. If he doesn't get in this year, this one's better than the first one, I'll be stunned. I'll be shocked. I'll rage. I'll go after the Oscar committee. I'll take them all down. Number one, though, I got Brady Corbett. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name. But hopefully for the Brutalist, it's a 3.5 hour movie. If you direct a movie that's 3.5 hours, I think you deserve to get in for Best Director, because that is hard work on its own right there. 3.5 hours of directing it is crazy, man. That's like over an hour longer than the average movie length, and I'm just hearing that's a masterpiece, so I think he will get in. He's my number one so far. For Best Actress in the race, number 7, I'm gonna go Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. Actually, it was really sad. She had an award for, I think, this performance in this movie. She had an award for this one, but I think it was her mom sadly passed away when she was supposed to accept this award. So that was actually a very sad moment for her in that situation. But I've been hearing some interesting things about this one. It's kind of like a movie that we've seen before, though, a couple different times, where she falls in love with one of the people that work at her company. She's like the big boss of the company. I've been hearing her performance is really great, though, so that's why I put her in number 7. Number 6, I have Saoirse Ronan for The Outrun. What's funny about this, I haven't seen the trailer for this one, but I guess it's out, because I saw the trailer in the theater when I was seeing The Front Room from A24, and I walked in and like half the trailer was already shown, so I only caught like the second half, and I didn't know what the hell was happening, but I understood that it was The Outrun, so I really need to watch the actual trailer for this one. I think everyone could see Saoirse Ronan getting in, because she gets in a lot. I just think that she kind of has lost her credibility maybe just a little bit with that one movie she was in with Paul Mescal, because she was doing terrific until that one movie. I forgot what it was called because it was so bad, but I feel like she can maybe get in for this. But The Blitz, which we'll talk about soon, maybe she'll get in for that. Best Actress, though, number 5 got Lady Gaga for Joker 2. I don't know if I regret putting her in the top 5. I don't even know if she's going for Best Actress or Supporting Actress, but it's like some bad reception on this movie might hurt her. At the same time, though, I feel like she could maybe still get in. I mean, she's definitely not going to win, but I could see her still getting in. I might be far off with that. Maybe she won't get in after all. Maybe I see the movie and I think her performance isn't even that great. We'll have to see. Number 4, I get Amy Adams for Night Bitch. This is such a funny story. I had her in this at number 3 and number 4 like 2 weeks ago. Then the trailer came out. Then I took her out. I was like, what even is that trailer? Because if you watch the trailer for that movie, you'll be kind of stunned, because I read some of this book. This is based off a book, and it's a very serious book. Some parts are actually pretty dark. And the trailer takes such a different turn on this story. It makes it just seem like a comedy movie for like a family to really laugh at. It doesn't really take any risk there. And it's just a very weird trailer, and with some very weird song choices. I don't know what Searchlight was thinking there, because supposedly the movie is nothing like the trailer, because it premiered at the film festivals. I think it was Toronto or something like that. I always get Toronto and Venice mixed up. But supposedly it's great. Supposedly her performance is one of her best so far, which I still think her best performance was for Arrival, and she didn't even get any awards nominations for that. Supposedly her performance in Night Bitch is terrific, and supposedly the movie is actually pretty great. So I'm hearing, mixed. I'm hearing like the trailer's bad, the movie's great. So I just stuck her back in. I don't really have another person to put there, so I just stuck her back in. Her and Amy Adams, and her and Lady Gaga are the two that I'm most uncomfortable putting in there, but I just left them in there for the moment, because September is the one where we get them all wrong, so they're there. 3, got Angelina Jolie for Maria. I thought that she could maybe win for a second, but I lost that hope. I don't think that Angelina is going to win for this one. I feel like I heard a lot of buzz for that one once it premiered, but then all the buzz just left. It just left after that night that it premiered. Could be a great performance, though, but I just don't feel like the movie is going to stick the landing, especially if it doesn't get into picture, which right now I do not have it in picture. So if it's not getting in picture, I don't think she's going to win. Maybe because she could still get a nomination. 2, I have Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez. I think that she's going to easily get in for this one. Lots of other people are going to get in for Amelia Perez. she's going to steal the movie. I feel like she'll be great. I feel like Emily Perez might still get in the Best Picture when more buzz starts pulling up for it. But number one, I have Mikey Madison for Anora. This is kind of like a hard one to put there because Mikey Madison is really only entering the picture because, even though she's been acting for a long time, especially in that one Hulu show that she was in, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Scream, but those aren't really big, like a lot of people were really talking about those. Those are kind of like supporting performances, and she was, she's terrific, and she's a standout actress in those movies, but those are Oscar movies. This is her first Oscar movie, and me putting it at number one is a pretty big risk because a lot of people going their first Oscar movie don't really win. But I'm just hearing that her performance is stellar, hearing that she's spectacular. And if the movie is really this good and the performance is this good, I decided to put it at number one because if they're both like magnificent, why not put her at number one? I haven't heard any bad reviews for the movie, so I decided to put her there. I feel like from the trailer, she's just terrific in what she's doing, the way she's putting on that accent too, just the movements that she's doing, the facial expressions. I think that she looks spectacular. Mikey Madison's just fantastic in my books. I feel like her performances in Scream, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood have really prepared her for these moments, have that she's finally getting the chance to shine. So I'm just going to leave her at number one. I'm pretty confident in that. For Best Actor in the race, number seven, I have John David Washington for The Piano Lesson, coming to Netflix in a couple months. I was more confident on this movie until I saw the trailer and learned a little bit more about it, because supposedly it's a little more supernatural than I was anticipating, and I really wasn't anticipating it to be supernatural at all. So that's why I put him down at number seven. It kind of got decent reactions, I heard, but I don't think performances are going to be enough for them getting nominated, maybe like supporting actress, which we'll get to, but I don't think John David Washington's gonna end there. But I've heard that this is one of his best performances to date. 6 out Joaquin Phoenix for Joker 2. I feel like he's just under a lot of fire right now. I don't think he's gonna get in that top five, especially with him leaving that one big project by Todd Haynes. That was a horrible look for him. Oh, that really hit him hard. And he already won for the first one. I don't, and he has to share the screen for the second one. I just don't think it's going to be a big enough, loud enough, different performance than the first one for him to get in. So number five, I got Daniel Craig for Queer, which has been getting good reactions. I wouldn't say great, good reactions, kind of mixed. But Daniel Craig, I've heard some great things about in this performance. It's it's an interesting movie, interesting take. I feel like, if he gets in there, I feel like he will be staying at the bottom for some time for me. I don't even know when this is coming out. I think maybe December, so we'll see on that one. Four, I got Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. As I said, Timothée Chalamet, I think he's been nominated for one Oscar so far, maybe two. I think two, actually, for what am I even saying? For Little Women and Call Me by Your Name. I think he's been nominated twice so far, so I think he's going to get this one again because he's playing, a main character, Bob Dylan. Biopic actors usually get nominated unless they're very bad. Complete Unknown, as I said, though, I think he sounds almost exactly like Bob Dylan in this. He's did all that singing himself here. I think he looks very great. I feel like the movie's going to be great, so I'll have him in there. Three, I got Ray Fiennes for Conclave. Ray Fiennes is long overdue from some awards consideration. He's finally in an awards movie. I don't have him winning, though. I feel like he could be close if these two performances above him weren't so fantastic. I will say, though, I wish some Dune actors got in here, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Ray Fiennes, though, happy that he's going to be getting some awards consideration. Two, I got Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. One of my favorite performances of the year, just blown away. He has, he has an Oscar scene, as we all say. You got to have an Oscar sequence in your movie for someone to just go over the top, emotional, or something like that. And he does have a big Oscar scene in this movie that got me emotional, got me shedding some tears. I like, Coleman Domingo, you're doing great. And this would be his second nomination back to back, because last year he got nominated for Rustin, which I wasn't fond of. I didn't think he does. I didn't think that was really that big of a performance to get him that nomination. This one, though, I feel like is a terrific performance. I feel like he really deserves that nomination. But number one, I got Adrien Brody for The Brutalist. It's one of those movies that is just getting all the performance recognition. Adrien Brody, he already won for The Pianist. It would be cool to see him get a second one here. Hearing he's at the top of his game, he's already proved himself with his performances, emotional and all that. So I have him at number one. For Best Supporting Actress, number seven, I have Tilda Swinton in Room Next Door. I don't know anything about this movie. I've heard her performance is great. So I just put it at number 7. I don't know anything about this movie. Don't kill me there. Number 6, I have Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. I love that last name. Hearing that she could be a big standout, hearing that her performance in this one's pretty good, so maybe she could sneak in that top 5 someday. But number 5, it's actually an interesting lineup here. You got a lot of Emilia Perez people in here. Number 5, though, I got Daniel Deadweiler for the piano lesson. As I said, I'm not sure about the guys for this movie, but I feel like she has the best shot out of any of the performances because I've heard that she's the best part of the movie. Daniel Deadweiler, though, oh man, I was so upset when she got snubbed for Till. She deserved to get a nomination for Till, and she didn't. It hurt my feelings, so I think that she deserves to get in for at least this one. But 4 and 3, they could be swapped out any time of the day. Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. They're both getting awards nominations. I think that could be cool, and they're both getting consideration after they've been starring, with the blockbusters and all that. Selena Gomez has been busy with Only Murders, getting a lot of Emmy nominations, but no Emmy wins. Zoe Saldana's been busy with Marvel, Avatar, and all that, but that's not bad. But yeah, they're both in an awards movie now, which is cool to see. It could be really cool to see both of them get an awards nomination. Maybe only one of them gets there. But I feel like if it's only one of them, I think it will be Zoe Saldana because she's getting more praise. Selena Gomez, though, I've heard some great things about, but I'm confident at least one of them will get in. Number 2, I got Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. As I said once again, yeah, there's 3 people in this movie, 3 main people. I think they're all going to get a nomination here. Hearing that she's a big standout for some emotional sequences there, so I kept her there. Number 1, though, I went and picked Anjanu Alice Taylor for The Nickel Boys. I've heard that she is absolutely fantastic in this movie. I'm not confident in that number 1, though. Supporting actress always tends to be the one that I'm the least confident on, except last year. Last year was easy for The Holdovers. This year, though, sounds kind of mixed up because I feel like top 3 could get swapped around any day of the week. I don't know. Zoe Saldana could win. Felicity Jones could win. It just has to I just have to see the movies at this point, but that's my early guesses for supporting actress. For supporting actor, I'm a little bit more confident here. 7, I got John Lithgow for Conclave. I only have him at 7 because I'm not really hearing too much about him, and there is someone above him that I'm hearing a lot more about, so I decided to put him there. 6, I got Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. Hearing more and more about this performance, I'm seeing more and more about it, which is just rising up more and more in my ranks because I didn't even have him in the top 10 a couple weeks ago, but I've just had this feeling that maybe he could get in that top 5. Top 5 is not really the best so far. I feel like there's a lot of room to be changed, especially in that 3 to 5 positions. So maybe Edward Norton could get in there once the movie releases. Number 5, though, I have Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, which is getting some great reviews. It came out at Sundance, so it might be a little too late for this one. We'll see. I think Kieran Culkin is the only one I really expect. Maybe for Screenplay. I've heard he's the best part of the movie. It's coming out, I think, in November, October. Seen the trailer in theaters. Think it looks pretty interesting. Before I got Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2, this could maybe not happen, but it's my one big guess that I like doing. But Denzel Washington is just so good when he is in any movie, and I think he could get a nomination here. Maybe. It depends how many standout scenes he has, but in the trailer alone, he has a lot of standout scenes. Like, oh my god, he has that Denzel laugh in some of those scenes, and then he has the one scene picture with Paul Mescal. Well, where he asked Paul Mescal, "What could I give you that would satisfy your needs?" Paul Mescal's like, Roman army or something like that, the army, and Denzel's like, "Too much," and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's got it on lockdown. He's gonna be really terrific in that movie. I don't care if he gets a nomination, but I just have him in there for fun for now. 3, I have Stanley Tucci for Conclave. This is the supporting performance for Conclave that I decided to go with because I heard Stanley Tucci is in the movie more than John Lithgow. 2, I got Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. The 1 and 2 are very interesting. These are the strongest ones that I'm most confident so far. Guy Pearce, I don't think has ever gotten Oscar nomination before, so it could be good. Haven't seen him for a long time. I guess he's making a big comeback for this movie. Heard he's great. But number 1, I have Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing. I think he has a bigger, Oscar narrative, assuming that he lived these moments and was in jail, and he was in this kind of disciplined areas and was in these plays, and I feel like he acted out, and his acting was perfect. I really loved him here for someone who's not really an actor known for acting. I thought he was magnificent in this movie. I think Sing Sing though is losing a lot of momentum. A24 is going to be focusing on The Brutalist. Could be sad to see him not win, but I think I'm confident that he's at least getting a nomination. But so far, I've seen Sing Sing, and I'm just going to keep him at number one. Now we got screenplays. We'll start with original screenplay in the race at number 7. I have The Seed of the Sacred Fig. I know nothing about this movie. I think it's a international movie, a foreign movie. Heard it's great though. I didn't really decide to read anything about it, but I've heard the first reactions were great. 6, I got Blitz. I would hope that they'd start some campaigning for this one in a little bit, some marketing for this one. As I said, no trailer out yet. I don't know what's going on with this one. Heard the interesting things about this one though, so hopefully they start campaigning. 5, I got Challengers. I'm still praying. I'm still fingers crossed that this one's gonna make some moves. I still think it just came out just too early. Luca Guadagnino, they had a great one on their hands. Amazon did. They just picked a terrible release date. It just came out so far. Maybe they'll lead a big campaign in a couple months. Who knows? 4, I got Real Pain. Heard the screenplay is the best part of the movie. Decided to put there. 3, Saturday Night. Like, how can you not put that in screenplay? Not sure how that's original though, since it's adapted from real events. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it is adapted, but I guess it's original so far. But yeah, it's a Saturday Night Live kind of movie with the skits and sketches and all that. So you have to put it in there. Like, the trailer is hilarious, and you have all these jokes that people are just laughing at all the time in these screenings. I think it's just destined to be there. 2, The Brutalist. It's an original 3.5-hour epic about an architect. Like, come on, it's gonna go in there. Number 1 though, I have Anora. It's the one I have the most hope over. That's the one I've seen actually seen footage of. Brutalist, I haven't. Yeah, as I said, they should release a trailer in the next month or so. But yeah, Anora, it's the one that I think it will just do the most, because it is fixing on 3 different kind of acts of structure there: comedy, kind of just craziness, and just all around batshit crazy stuff. So I have Anora at number 1. For adapted screenplay in the race, number 7, I got Queer. This one's losing a lot of momentum, so I just dropped it to 7. 6, Amelia Perez. Could get into that top 5, but seeing as it's focusing on a lot of different stuff, very ambitious movie. I don't know. It's a musical at the same time. I feel like I have more hope for it in like score and maybe a song and maybe some other stuff. But screenplay, I'm not sure on, so I just put it at 6. 5, I got The Wild Robot. Big guess there. A big guess, just like the Best Picture one. It's just getting very great reviews. Emotional, pulling your heartstrings. So I'll put it in screenplay. I'm not sure how many animated movies have gotten into screenplay in the history. Maybe this could be one of the first ones and one of the many. I don't know. I have to actually look that up. I'd love to see how many animated movies have gotten into screenplay. 4, I got Nickel Boys. It's a very emotional subject that they're dealing with here, and beating and all that. A very abusive kind of movie. Sexual violence in this one too, so a lot's going on there. 3, Conclave. When you're messing with religion, politics, you kind of need to get into screenplay, or else your screenplay will be doomed as terrible. Heard the screenplay is great though on this one, except maybe the ending's a little weird, I've heard. Sing Sing at number 2. It's a terrific screenplay. I loved what it was saying there, what they're going for, what messages that they're trying to send are there, and I think they sent them well. Number 1, I got Dune Part 2 though. I'm going to keep this in there. I don't think it's going to win, but I'm just wanting to put it at number 1 because it's kind of like the hardest book ever to adapt, or one of the books ever to adapt, and Denis Villeneuve and crew got it done. They did it once, and they did it again. And this one, I think they did even better than the first one. I think that the script is just so much better. I think it's kind of less confusing than the first one, because a lot of people are very confused on the first one. I think that's kind of like the screenplay's fault. This one I feel like is more concise, easier to understand for a lot more people. So I decided to put it at number 1 because I feel like it is a hard book to adapt, but they did it so well. For best international film, I don't even talk to me about this one. Don't even comment anything about this one. I only have 5 here, because I don't know. International films, I hardly even am able to see all 5 in theaters where I'm located. Last year, I think I only saw like 3 of them in theaters, and the other 2 I had to watch like on this weird website. And I didn't even get to see one of them before the Oscars night, which is terrible. I wish, international distribution was a little bit better. So yeah, I just guess on this one. 5, Evil Does Not Exist. I don't know a lot about all these movies. Heard Evil Does Not Exist is really great though, but I feel like this one's been out for a while, which is weird. 4, I'm Still Here. 3, All We Can Imagine Is Light. 2, The Cedar of a Sacred Fig. Number 1, Amelia Perez, because that's the one I really know. That's the one I've seen the most footage of. So that's best international film. I'm just putting my hands up because I don't know. Best animated film is one of the ones that I like to talk about the most. I love animation. I love just what they can do with animation. In the race, this year is actually kind of hard one to call. Last year we had it kind of like the top four, top five lockdown by October. This one, I don't know. I don't know. I only have like two lockdown here. In the race, Lord of the Rings, the animated movie. The animation looks great. Don't know how it's going to be received. I really do like the trailer though. You got a nice voice cast, some great action you can have there. Could have a great score too. Six, I got Moana 2. I'm not sure if it's going to be as good as Moana 1 because this one is, it's like a changed TV show that they made to change it to a movie. It's weird. It's weird. It's going to make a lot of money, I think, but it and Wicked are going against each other, which is a very odd thing to do. But yeah, I'm just not confident it's going to get in the top five, seeing that it might not be as good as the first one. Number five, though, I got Transformers 1. I decided to put this in here. A lot of people weren't confident in it, but as I said, it's getting some very good first reactions. I'm seeing it just in a couple days from recording this. I'm hearing great things. The first trailer didn't do anything for me. The second trailer did a lot for me. So maybe it could be a surprise nomination. Before I got Flow, this is a movie about like a cat. It's kind of like I think it's a non-speaking movie. I think it's no dialogue in that. I saw the for 30 seconds of the trailer and I just turned it off because I wanted to go in blind on this one. But heard some pretty good things, just like Memoir of a Snail. Number three, I've heard this one is terrific. I actually watched the full trailer for this one. It looks great. It kind of looks really non-family friendly in a way, which I'm actually interested in seeing. I love seeing animated films that aren't for families. I love ones that cater to adults a little bit more. Two, I have Inside Out 2. This is the biggest movie of the year. Made like 1.6, 1.7 billion so far. Crazy numbers. No one was expecting that much money. It's a great movie, but I feel like The Wild Robot is going to be my number one. It's just it's getting crazy rave reviews. Better than Inside Out 2. Haven't seen any bad reactions for The Wild Robot. Some lukewarm, but mostly amazing reviews. Inside Out 2, some people didn't like it as much as the first one. It's not as good as the first one for me, so I don't think like it's going to win. I feel like the first one did win, to my knowledge, so I don't feel like the second one's going to win. I feel like The Wild Robot has this locked down so far. Now we got all the technical stuff. First up, best cinematography. We're going to try to run through all the technical stuff pretty fast here. In the race, I got Amelia Perez. Number 7 could be getting in there once I see it. 6, I got Anora. I'm really fascinated by that cinematography, but I don't know if it's going to be flashy enough for the awards there for the Oscars. Who knows? I really do love it in the trailers. I think it looks very nice. 5, I got Nickel Boys. As I said, very experimental, going with that first-person POV. So might get in there. 4, I got Conclave. The trailer looks great. I love the shots there, just the complete wide shots, medium shots, and not many close-ups in there, which is interesting. 3, I got Nosferatu. We've only seen one trailer for this one. Might even not even get in at all. But I'm just so impressed with Robert Eggers, with what he does with his films. I'm not sure who his cinematographer is, but it looks terrific. Oh my God, those nighttime shots. Oh my God, just thinking of it. Oh, it looks great. I cannot wait to see it. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. 2, I got The Brutalist, 3.5 hour epic. Heard the cinematography is beautiful. 1, I got Dune Part 2. Once again, Greg Fraser. Everyone says he's not going to win again since he already won. I disagree. I think he deserves to win again. Just look at his work in this movie. It's better cinematography than the first one. And the first one was already a masterpiece of cinematography. Crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy. People are saying sequels don't win Oscars like the first one. That's a dumb rule. We all gotta agree that's a stupid rule. If it's better than the first one, if the stuff is better than the first one, then give it the wins. I hate that sequel stuff that they do. It is dumb. If it's good, if it deserves the win, give it the win. Who cares if it's a sequel? Who cares that the first one already won? Give it the win if it deserves it, and I think it deserved it. For best editing, usually the category I always get wrong, but in the race, 7, I got Blitz. Still no trailer. 6, Amelia Perez. 5, Challengers. This is the one that I think it could get because the editing is spectacular. Oh my God, that non-linear format too. The tennis match. Oh my God, the editing went crazy in this one. The bedroom scene, as we all know. 4, Saturday Night. Looks like a hectic movie with a lot of editing in there. 3, I got Conclave. Maybe not, but I feel like it's going to get into all the other categories. I think I'll give it some technical categories too. The Brutalist, I feel bad for the editor when they have to edit a 3.5 hour movie. I just feel bad for them at that point. I feel like Killer's got in for best editing. I'm not sure who won that one. Dune Part 2, it's my number one. The editing was masterful. Just the pacing of that movie, terrific all around. For best production design, one of my favorite categories. I love production design and costume design. I was right on him last year. Poor Things won both of them. Everyone that was thinking Barbie was going to win, Poor Things. Let's go. 7, I got Joker 2. Production design looks very great in this one. Some behind the scenes stuff that I've seen. Seems like they built some awesome things, but it's losing momentum, as I said. 6, I got Conclave. It could get in there, but I don't feel like it's as, production heavy. It looks like some locations are just same locations that they're in out the whole movie, so who knows. 5, I got Nosferatu. Once again, production looks great in this one. A lot of different locations. The period piece that they're going for, just very impressed with what I've seen so far. 4, I got The Brutalist. It's pretty low, but I don't know. So far, I've only seen a few images. I'm going off trailers and images for production design, costume design. 3, I got Wicked. It's crazy, the amount of tulips and flowers that they planted. Supposedly they planted like thousands and stuff. I don't know how they did it, but supposedly they did it. I'll believe them. Production design looks great. The lighting, though, looks kind of bad. But I guess this isn't about lighting. It's about production. Production looks great, though. Gladiator 2, also production looks fantastic. Not sure how much was practically built there, but we'll see. Dune Part 2, though. Dune Part 1, they both... Dune Part 1 brought one for production, cinematography, costume. I feel like Dune Part 2 has the biggest chance of winning a lot of technical categories yet again. Production design, oh my god, some of this, especially the gladiator sequence and that duel and Arrakis and all that looked fantastic. Costume design, also one of my favorite categories. I love costumes, especially if they look great. 7, Joker 2, once again, gotta put it there. 6, Conclave, same kind of thing as production design. Not confident on either of those, but I put them in the race. 5, The Brutalist, as I said, it's not as high because I've only seen a couple images, but I've heard costumes are great. 4, Maria, it's a very costume heavy type of movie. Angelina Jolie supposedly wearing a lot of different costumes. 3, Gladiator 2, Gladiator 2. Some costumes in there, maybe won't get in there, but I feel like the first one maybe got in. Beetlejuice is one I left out because I'm not too confident on that one, but maybe. 2, Wicked, has a lot of crazy costumes, a lot of crazy dresses, a lot of crazy colors popping off the screen in your eyes, kind of going crazy right there. Lots of brights. Maybe they like brights, maybe they don't. Dune Part 2, though, number 1, once again, most diverse costume set, looks fantastic. A lot of different costumes in the first one, a lot of the same costumes, so maybe not. Maybe I'm too heavy on this one, but am I too heavy on Dune Part 2? I don't think so. Best makeup and hairstyle, 7, Nosferatu. Once again, makeup, hairstyle looks great in this one. Not as confident in this category as I am in production design and costume design, though, so I just kept it 7. 6, I got Wicked. The hair looks great in this one. I just don't think it's going to be as great as, the costumes and production, so that's why it's in the race. Number 5, though, I got The Substance. Not sure on this one, not too confident. Heard that the practical stuff is great, practical makeup and stuff. This is a very grotesque horror movie. I've heard. I might see it, might not. I'm not really good with body horror, and this one is all about body horror. Supposedly this person's body opens up and someone crawls out of it. That's that one. Crazy, right? I'm not very big on body horror, so I might not see it. Might gross me out just a little too much, but I have it number 5. 4, Joker 2. It's like the first one. I think that one got nominated. It has a lot of different makeup. Arthur Fleck's wearing the Joker makeup. You got Harley wearing the Harley makeup. Could get in. 3, Beetlejuice. It has a lot of makeup going on this one. Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice coming back after so many years. Different makeup for different characters in the afterworld and all that. A lot of different stuff happening there. Practical stuff too. Different Man. This looks great. I cannot wait to see this one. Hopefully it comes to my theaters. But the makeup and hair design of this one looks terrific. I didn't actually end up putting the other one, The Apprentice, in here. Because I just didn't want to, but A Different Man I put in here. Dune Part 2, though, I put at number 1 again. I know you're tired of hearing it, but it's still going to happen until I see anything that beats the makeup and hairstyle for this movie. Now we got Best Visual Effects, another one that is very hard to predict. If last year was anything to remember, no one predicted that Godzilla -1 was going to win, but it ended up winning. In the race, I have Twisters. It's Twisters, got a lot of crazy tornadoes happening in that one. Maybe. Deadpool & Wolverine, maybe some of the visual effects are a little bit ugly there. They went kind of crazy with what they were doing there. It's a little gray in that movie too, like every other MC movie. So I didn't put it in number five. Number five, we got Alien Romulus. I think a couple of the other Alien movies have been nominated, so I have confidence that this one will get in there. Used a lot of practical effects, but a lot of different visual effects in there too, and I feel like it looked very polished, looked great. For Gladiator 2 is going to have a lot of visual effects in there for backgrounds and all that. I feel like it's kind of like a sure bet to get in, especially if it's a great movie. 3, you got Furiosa, had some great visual effects. Some of the compositing is not great, as we've heard, but I still feel like he has enough great visual effects to get it there. 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think it's going to be another time where just Planet of the Apes comes out in the wrong year, because I feel like I don't think they've won a single Oscar for those movies, and the motion capture work is terrific, though it's just they picked the worst years to come out, because Dune Part 2 I don't think is going to be beaten. The visual effects of Dune is crazy, man. Pay those people all the money, because the way they just blend it with all the real stuff, the real practical world and desert at the end, it's magnificent. I can't think of a single shot in either of the Dune movies, especially Dune Part 2, where anything looks too visual effects heavy or anything looks fake. I can't think of anything. Maybe one background or two, but I'm talking about like the ornithopters, the harvesters, and all that. A lot of that stuff blends so well into the movie. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it's terrific, but it just came out at the wrong time. I think Dune Part 2 has this one locked. Best sound, another one that I get wrong a lot of the times, but we'll try. Conclave, I have it at 7. Not very confident on that one. Complete Unknown at 6. It's a biopic about music and all that. Got a lot of instruments going on. So I put it at 6 so far. 5, Blitz. I heard this one's very sound heavy with bombs and stuff. Got to keep it there. 4, Joker 2. A lot of music, a lot of instruments going on here, a lot of explosions. 3, Furiosa, very big action movie. A lot of set design, a lot of set pieces going on there, a lot of big action sequences. 2, Gladiator 2, I feel like this is a big, strong chance to get in there. Number 1, Dune Part 2, like the sound, crazy, man. Go with this one on IMAX. Your eardrums are going to blast it. Like I always kind of grade it on the IMAX sound scale. This one's IMAX sound scale was crazy, man. Oh my god, the sand harvesters, the guns, oh my goodness Christ. And then the thumper when it just boom and you just vibrate in your seat, you're kind of like having a seizure there. Crazy, man. If it gives me a seizure in my seat in IMAX, I feel like it should win. If you don't know me, best score is one of my favorite categories to talk about. I love scores. A score is really something that stands out to me when I watch. It either stands out to me in a good way or it stands out to me in a way where I forget it the next day. But I also think score is interesting because I feel like a score should win, and I feel like it deserves to win if I can and if I want to listen to it without the movie. Because Oppenheimer won last year, and I listened to that without the movie so many times. It was just a magnificent score. You don't need the movie to listen to it. It just plays so well on its own, relaxing but crazy at the same time. Like if the score only fits with the movie and is still amazing, cool, it's fine. But will I think it deserves to win? No. Like I thought Babylon should have won because I listened to that one without the movie so much. But All Quiet on the Western Front one, that's not really one that I'll go back to much. I feel like best score is something that if you go back to it, if you can listen to it without the movie, I feel like it's one of the ones that deserves to win. 7, Sing Sing, I haven't gone back to this one a lot. Some tracks are really great though. 6, Challengers, it just come out too early, man. This is the track that I've gone back to so many times outside of Dune. It is so good, this album by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Oh my god. Why didn't they just keep it for like November though? It was so good. It was supposed to come out in November, I think, of last year, but the strikes delayed it. It could have won score maybe or got nominated last year. 5, I put in the Wild Robot. Maybe Challengers could take over Wild Robot, but I've heard the Wild Robot has an amazing score sitting in just 2 weeks or so. I'm very excited for that one. 4, Conclave, heard the score is great. You can hear it in the trailer too. I think they're using the score for the trailer. 3, Joker 2. The first Joker won score, so I could assume that Joker 2 will get in for score, except if it reuses a lot of score. If it reuses a lot of score and isn't a lot of new stuff, then I don't think it will get in, but we'll see when we see the movie. I'll see it in 2 weeks also. Dune Part 2 at number 2. I would put this at number 1, but sequelitis, the Oscars, they get mad if it's a sequel. I do feel like, though, Hans Zimmer created enough new stuff here to really stand out, like the scene and the song choice with Hans Zimmer with Chani and Paul on the sand dune for their first kiss. God, made me elevate in my seat. I was like, oh my God, he got me elevating here. If your score makes me levitate in the theater, then you deserve some recognition. You deserve to win there. And will The Brutalist make me levitate? Maybe. Maybe it will. But Dune made me levitate many, many times. Like, oh my God, Hans Zimmer cooked 2 times. And this is different. It's not the same. Maybe it's a little similar, but it's not all the same. He didn't really reuse much. Just maybe like 1 or 2 tracks here. But he has a lot of new stuff here. And I listened to the score almost like a couple times every month. It is terrific. But one, I decided to put The Brutalist because, you know, Oscars, they get mad if it's a sequel, as I said. But maybe The Brutalist has a great score. Maybe it has a score that'll make you elevate like 20,000 times in theaters because it's a 3.5-hour movie. I heard great things about the score, so I'll keep it at number 1. For our last category, and always the worst category to talk about in the early predictions, is original song. Only this is only hard to talk about and only stupid to talk about because you don't know any of the track names. Like, only a couple of the movies have the track names out, and I didn't even put them up because, you know, like, only some of them do. And like it's last year, it was like Barbie or Barbie. You know, you don't know. But Barbie did end up winning. I'm just kidding. Deserved to win that. Let's just say that. This is the last category though. Original score 7. I got Joker 2. Only had 7 because I'm not sure if they have any original music for this film. It's a jukebox musical, which means a lot of stuff is just going to be older music that we heard before. That's already, you know, been made. But I don't know. I've heard Lady Gaga doesn't have any original songs, so maybe it doesn't have any original songs, which would be a very big missed opportunity not to put original songs in a musical. Weird. And they're not even selling it as a musical. It's crazy. If it doesn't have any original music, then I'll take it out once I see the movie. But I don't know so far. 6 Piece by Piece, Pharrell makes some terrific songs. Don't know if this one's going to make a big impact. I've heard some good reactions, but it kind of went and left from the festivals. 5 Sing Sing has that one original song that I think, if I remember, plays in the end credit sequence. Love the song. I went back and listened to it a couple more times after I left the movie. I love it. 4 Moana 2 could get in. It's like an original song. It's the worst category to talk about early. 3 Melee Perez. I'm pretty confident in this one because it's a musical and they're selling it as a musical. 2 The Wild Robot. I've heard this one has one original song or maybe 2, but one that really sticks with you. I'm not sure who did the original song. I think I saw it, but I forgot. I don't know. Number 1 though, I got Wicked. It's Ariana Grande happening in here. Maybe she'll get in. Cynthia Erivo though, she's doing something here too. 1 of them will get in. 2 of them will get in. I don't know how many duets they have. I don't know how many singles they have. I don't know. But that one song that's in the trailer, I think will get nominated. I forgot what it's called. Don't even quote me on that one. Those trailers are very forgettable, even though the movie could be pretty good. Wicked is just doing too much marketing. I think too much marketing might hurt this movie. Like 3 trailers is crazy, bro. That's too many trailers. But yeah, this is the last category. That is my early Oscar predictions for September. Hope you guys did enjoy. As I said, don't get mad at me if these aren't your same ones. Oh, you can have your opinions. Put them down below in the comments. As I said, I'm aiming to get 90% wrong in this video since we're like how many months away? It's 5-6 months away from the Oscars. Why are they in March? I don't know. Should be in February. I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy to get these wrong. That's why we do it so early, to get them wrong, to start getting it more correct in the months coming up. But yeah, that's my first Oscar predictions after the Fall Film Festivals. Leave your predictions down below. As I said, if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.